can't dream it, you gotta scheme it. And that's where we come in. Super Bowl winning coach Brian Billick has a winning game plan. Plus, one Sunday surprise why the biggest factors will not be the biggest names. And one Tuesday guest, Jalen Hurts, Philly's future. But is that future now?
Know that.
This is where the tough questions are the only questions. This is NFL Total Access. I'm unstoppable. We can count them on one hand, just 5 days until Super Bowl 55. Welcome into NFL Total Access presented by CDW. My name is MJ Acosta-Ruiz. Our live reports from Tampa Bay continue tonight and all week long. Terrell Davis, D'Angelo Hall, and Brian Billick joined me, plus a check-in on Super Bowl 55 from our number 55. Willie McGinnis will be with us as well. Tampa Bay continues to roll out the welcome mat, the super safe welcome mat for everyone taking part in this incredible week. 55,000 people will be in attendance, 25,000 actual people, and 30,000 fan cutouts. The Bucs will be the first team to host the Super Bowl in their home stadium. But this is actually the 5th Super Bowl to be hosted by the city of Tampa. As for the Chiefs, they're treating this not-so-regular Sunday like a regular season road game set to arrive on Saturday. Let's welcome in a big hello to Tom Pelissero, who is on site now and joins us. And Tom, what is the latest on the Chiefs' COVID concerns?
Well, MJ, all clear on 2 rounds of COVID testing for both the Chiefs and the Bucs today, one day after the Chiefs placed 2 players on the reserve COVID-19 list because of a high-risk close contact. That contact, I'm told, was with a barber who was allowed into the Chiefs facility to give players their pre-Super Bowl haircuts. Now, the Chiefs followed best practices here. The barber was tested 5 consecutive days. All those tests came back negative, including a PCR test on Saturday that turned up negative on Sunday. The barber took one more rapid result test on Sunday, then proceeded into the facility. The result was briefly delayed, and so the barber donned double PPE, began to cut backup center Daniel Kilgore's hair before the positive result came back. Now, the barber was swiftly removed. He spoke with NFL investigators, told them he'd also cut receiver Demarcus Robinson's haircut away from the facility the previous day. That's why those 2 players now on the list. They cannot practice this week, but if they continue to test negative, MJ, they both can play on Sunday.
Wow. Tom, this is exactly why the daily tests are so important here. Okay, Tom, thanks. Meantime, the Chiefs continued their media duties today. Patrick Mahomes cut right to the chase on what this week means to him.
For me, I'm trying to find a way to repeat, find a way to win a second championship, and find a way to do whatever I can to win with this team. You don't get these opportunities every single year in the NFL to be in the Super Bowl and to be in these games. And so you don't want to look back and have regrets about how you played and how you went about the week of preparing to go out there and play your best football.
Man, we look pressure right in the face. I mean, I feel like, everybody on the outside, it might be pressure for everybody else, but to us, it's like, we go out there, we do what we do, execute, play football. We're not really worried about the pressure. We just kind of, as long as we execute and do what we're supposed to do, I feel like we have a good chance of winning the game. So we don't really necessarily, and me personally, I don't really try to listen to the outside noise, and Coach Reed does a good job of expressing that to, the team. It's just worried about what's going on. Let's go out there, execute, be us, and I think we'll be fine.
Over in Kansas City, Omar Ruiz at Arrowhead. And a lot of talk this week, Omar, about Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce and their production. What sense are you getting about how they might be used on Sunday?
Yeah, well, Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill both have been dominant individually throughout their careers, and this postseason has been no exception. In fact, they've been rewriting the record books. They are the first teammates in NFL history to have multiple 100-yard receiving games in the same postseason. I asked Patrick Mahomes how he's seen his dynamic duo play off of one another so well on the field.
I think what makes each of them great really complements the other well. The fact that Tyreek can beat man coverage, catch over the top, be able to make big plays happen, opens up the middle of the field for Travis. And so to be able to have guys that complement each other so well and individually are such great talents, I think it was what makes them such a dynamic duo and a group of guys that I'm glad that are on my team.
Mahomes outlining the schematic advantages there. Bucs corner Sean Murphy-Bunting telling me what he's seen about that dynamic duo is how well they play off of each other emotionally, each going crazy when the other does well, obviously hoping to limit that in Super Bowl 55, unlike they were able to do in their Week 12 matchup when Kelsey and Hill combined for 351 yards and 3 touchdowns. MJ?
Oh, was that all? All right, Omar, thanks. We'll, of course, be checking in with you all of this week from KC. All right, let's welcome in our starting lineup, our starting roster, if you will, for this show. We have Terrell Davis, D'Angelo Hall, and our head coach, Brian Billick, joining us. And, guys, all right, listen, last night was all about setting the scene, opening night, all of that stuff. But now it's Tuesday, so now we really get to dive deep into the game plan here for the Super Bowl. So let's start with you, D. Hall. How do you devise a game plan to stop Patrick Mahomes?
Well, I'll tell you what, MJ, it's difficult. You know, plenty of defensive coordinators have tried and not been successful. But I think if you got a team like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this defense, I think it starts up front with those 4 pass rushers, right? You saw what they did to Aaron Rodgers last week. Anytime you can rush with Shaq Barrett, JPP, you got Vita Vea back, and Ndamukong Suh was pushing that pocket up the middle, creating one-on-ones on the outside. Look, this Bucs defense understands the complexities of trying to guard Tyreek Hill one-on-one. Travis Kelce through the middle of the football field. Those are two guys that, you know, certain parts of the game, yes, you're going to have to cover them one-on-one. But this front 4, the way they're able to rush, is going to make things just a little bit easier. And you got to have to kind of pick and choose when you want to double team, depending on situations, down the distance. What does Kansas City like to do as far as getting the ball in certain guys' hands in those situations? So it's going to be a little mixture of double teaming some guys, playing a little bit of man, some zone. But everything revolves around this front 4 being able to generate pressure for Todd Bowles and that defense.
Yeah, I will tell you this. You can take anybody you want out of the game plan. You want to shut down Tyreek Hill? Easy. You want to shut down Kelce? Easy. You want to shut down both? Now you got a problem because you just run out of bodies. If whatever you got to do to shut those down, you still got to take care of the other outside guys with Watkins and Hardman. A 4-man rush, and Tampa's got a good 4-man rush. The problem is that 4-man rush, if it doesn't get home, it leaves alleys for Patrick Mahomes. So that's the difficulty here. Clearly, you've got to be more passive. Don't give up the big plays. You got to live with the underneath plays. That means Mahomes running around a little bit. That means throwing the ball underneath. You got to rally up and tackle well. They did against Green Bay, but you can't give them the big play down the field. Hope your offense can keep up and make them kick the occasional field goal. Don't trade touchdowns for field goals because they're going to get their big plays.
Yeah, Coach, you're absolutely right. You think about this Kansas City team, how explosive they are. Speed doesn't matter when you're in the red zone. There's only so far that receiver can run. So Tyreek Hill and all of these fast receivers, Mecole Hardman, all of their speed is going to be eliminated when they get to the red zone. So if Tampa can just hold on and not give up those explosive plays down the football field and get Kansas City in the red zone, I think they can get back to their normal style of football defensively because they aren't worried about their speed at that point.
You know, and that speed is something we'll be getting into a little later in the show as well. But, TD, I'm going to hand it off to you here for a moment because that Bucs defense, they can turn the heat up. We already know that. So what do the Chiefs offense need to do to really neutralize that Bucs pass rush?
Well, there's a combination of things you can do when you have a ferocious front like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And, you know, this team played the 49ers last year in the Super Bowl, and they had a really good front. And so things you can do, like you can do draw plays. And let me show you a tape kind of breaking down what they did against teams who have really good fronts. You know, draw plays right here. You see Larry getting the ball. A good pass rush by the Ravens right there. That negates that pass rush right there. You see again right here, a little quick kind of a screen out to Tyreek Hill, put the ball in his hands very quickly. That negates the pass rush. And again, right here, a little slant route. And once he gets the ball, it's over. I mean, he's going to go ahead and take that thing the distance there. So you can do that. You can do also move in the pocket, as we'll see coming up in a minute in this video right here. But they can move in the pocket. That also negates the pass rush. And then you can go up tempo. You know, defenses hate you going up tempo because they don't get a chance to catch their breath. They're not going to pass rush on every single rush with 100%. And the Chiefs understand. Andy Reid knows what's up. Eric Bieniemy understands how to keep a defense like that off balance. And I think they'll do a really good job this Sunday.
I'm glad you mentioned Bieniemy and them game planning here, because while we're on the topic of defense, I actually spoke to Bucs linebacker Devin White earlier today, and he said he knows that opposing offensive coordinators have to game plan differently for them. He knows they have to make sure they're getting that ball out quickly. And D-Hall, I gave you a little shout out there because he agrees. He does think they're the best linebacker duo, him and Levante David, in the league. So I'll send you that video a little later, my friend. All right, guys, thanks. Coming up next on NFL Total Access, true or false? 13 years after he did it the first time, Steve Spagnuolo will baffle Brady again.
Uh-oh.
True or false? Mecole Hardman's speed is more dangerous than Tyreek Hill's.
I can't run with you, boy.
True or false? If the Chiefs do win, it's gonna be a blowout.
They need help.
We've got answers. Plus, talent so undeniable, it's almost a problem.
What a night for Jalen Hurts.
Number 2 on the jersey. Is he number 1 on the depth chart?
Know that.
Jalen Hurts, our special guest, still to come on NFL Total Access.
Ain't no better time to be crazy today. That's a good ass hit, though. Shift the Rose Bowl right parade. Shift the Rose Bowl right parade. Shift. What a call! What a call!
That was actually pretty sweet.
That's awesome, Coach.
Let's put it down.
Yes, sir.
All the time.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, the emojis really bring that story to life, and the Chiefs are trying to repeat. And we have someone who knows all about that. TD, you, of course, did it with the Broncos Super Bowl 32 and 33. Did you feel any type of pressure to repeat there?
Pressure, MJ. I tell you what, listen, the second one, I did feel, and I think as a team, collectively, we felt a little bit more pressure when we were the favorites. You know, as an underdog, it's easy. You got motivation. You can find stories in the newspaper. You can find people talking about how you guys are going to lose by 13 points. That's easy. But when you are the favorite to win a game, if you win it, people say, oh, you were supposed to win that. If you don't win it, the pressure is that you choke. You didn't show up in the big moment. So, yes, there were pressure in the second game, but not in the first game for me.
All right. Well, how different did it feel actually winning your second Super Bowl compared to the first one?
Well, the second one was almost a relief. Like I said, it was, I remember that entire week we have Shannon Sharp on our team. And if anybody knows Shannon, he can't shut up. He talks a lot. And Mike Shanahan went to Shannon that week and told him, listen, we need you just to be quiet this week. We don't need you. We don't need no headlines. We don't need anything coming out from this camp. Can you do that for me? And Shannon, he was nice enough to say, okay, coach, I'll hold it down. I won't say anything. And I remember the night before we played the Falcons, Shannon just couldn't take it no more. He broke out the team meeting and told us, man, you guys, we got to go out there and beat these guys by 50 because I'm tired of talking nice about them. And, so we didn't give them any bulletin board material because we understood we were basically, the Green Bay Packers the previous year. So we understood that if you go out there and give people that kind of bulletin board material, it's going to feed them a lot. So we definitely didn't want to do that.
TD, I'm trying to picture Shannon just like, I've had enough. This is it. I'm going in at this moment to get everybody hyped up. And TD, of course, as you sit there with the, 2 Lombardis behind you casually, that's how it feels after you've won 2
of the
Super Bowls.
Feels great.
And the last team to repeat, of course, the 03-04 Patriots. Willie McGinnis and Scott Pioli share how they did it. You can check that out at NFL.com/repeat. Meantime, for you at home, Rocket Mortgage Super Bowl Squares is back with millions of dollars in prizes. It's the largest official game of Super Bowl Squares ever. And of course, it is free. Every time the score changes during Super Bowl 55, one lucky winner will take home $50,000. Plus, Rocket Mortgage is giving away 2 grand prizes of $500,000 that could be used for your dream home. You can see rules, enter for free at rocketmortgagesquares.com. 7 years ago today, Marshawn Lynch got a Super Bowl ring, which pretty much cemented the Beast Mode legend. He's the latest guest on Total Access, the Locker Room podcast, which streams tomorrow on Apple, Spotify, and all your favorite places to find podcasts. Marshawn caught up with his friend and teammate Michael Robinson to lobby for a new national holiday.
for the first time since 2007, and we are ready to work.
Brady throws, pass caught, Evans touchdown.
I'm going to put the dagger in. Watch.
Breeze dropping at the pass. Oh, it's intercepted, and the Bucs have the ball. The Buccaneers will head to Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Mahomes got wrong, and he looks totally dazed.
Mahomes is being helped off the field. If the Chiefs get a first down, the game's over. They're going for it. They flood it right. Caught Tyreek Hill. Stays in bounds. Chad Henne out of the bullpen.
Championship Sunday, man. Championship Sunday.
Got Scotty Miller in the oven. Makes the catch. Scotty Scooter Miller. The Bucs lead 20-10.
Let's go!
Steps up, scrambles, throws late, over the middle, incomplete. My goodness.
Kick it.
I'm a little surprised they didn't actually go for it on fourth down.
3rd and 4 for Tampa Bay with the ball at their own 37. 4 yards for Tampa Bay to go to Super Bowl. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady are going to Super Bowl 55.
Love you, kiddo. Let's go to Super Bowl, baby.
AFC Championship, man.
They throw it left side to Hardman on a wide receiver screen over the end zone. Touchdown! The Cheetah will run you all the way around the earth. It's a 71-yard pass play. The Chiefs are ready to run it back. They are headed to Super Bowl 55. Mahomes, Brady, Super Bowl.
I see you on Tampa Bay. Oh, I love it.
Oh, I love that video so much. Sarah Walsh is in Raymond James Stadium. And Sarah, we're 5 days away now. What were the Buccaneers up to today?
Bruce Arians told me it was a bonus day for the Bucs. They're usually off on Tuesdays, but they had a walkthrough. They went over about 40 to 50 plays, and he told me everyone participated, even the injured guys, although he said they are not yet ready to go. This is a Buccaneers team with a lot of big names, and yet this season there is only one Pro Bowler, and it's not the guy they call the GOAT. It is Jason Pierre-Paul, who twice almost had his career come to an end. In 2015, there was the fireworks accident that mangled his hand. In 2019, he got into a car accident and broke his neck. Bruce Arians was asked about his comeback today and called him a medical genetic freak. He said there is no one tougher out there. JPP talked about it this week, and he said there's always going to be people that tell you what you can't do. And he said you can do anything you want in life no matter what, and that he's never quitted anything. He is a motivator. So as for what he is telling his teammates this week, he's telling them there's no more games after this Super Bowl. Put your life on the line if that's what it takes. He said there is no woulda, coulda, shoulda. Put it all out there. Look, he is far from finished with football, MJ, but he could have a career tomorrow as a motivational speaker.
I mean, that phrase right there makes you want to run through a wall for him. All right, Sarah, thank you. We'll see you the rest of the week as well. All right, guys, let's play a little game of true or false. So, D-Hall and TD, here's how it's going to go. We're going to give you a statement, and you tell me if it's true or false. D-Hall, I'm going to start with you here. The Chiefs defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo, beat Brady twice in the Super Bowl with the Giants, or with the Giants, I should say. He said this morning the game has changed, but the QB, that hasn't. That being said, true or false, Spags will repeat this Super Bowl success of pressuring Tom Brady.
I'm going to say false, MJ and TD. Just think about this. Tom Brady has won 6 Super Bowls, and he always talks about the 2 he lost, and there are 2, and one of them obviously is Spags was leading that defense. And so, you know, I just think Tom Brady will have an answer for the pressure. I hope the Bucs have an answer for the pressure of Kansas City. I don't know if that will happen or not, but I like to believe in that GOAT status of Tom Brady, and I don't think a dude is going to get him again.
Hey, GOAT status don't get it done, man. I think Spags definitely has the recipe here. He's shown us before on the biggest stage that he's able to pressure Tom Brady. Listen, last time they played him, he only sacked Brady once, but it's really not about the sacks. It's about getting in Tom's face. You know, this team, they bring multiple guys who sack the quarterback. They're not a big sack team, so they'll bring their safeties, they'll bring their linebackers. So in this game, I think Spags understands he has to disrupt Tom Brady, and he will pull out that same game plan to be effective. Yes, indeed.
I don't know, TD. Now, Spags had a lot different D-line with those teams than he has with this one. I know Chris Jones and Frank Clark are 2 guys that can get it done. Let's
it'd be different.
I can't wait, TD. That's what makes this so interesting.
D-Hall, you know if he wants to bring some pressure, you don't have to just have a front four to bring pressure. That's safeties, linebackers, corners, everything, man.
But with all them dudes on the outside, it's going to be tough. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
You know, I have to agree with D. Hall here, but only because remember earlier in the season where we're like, are the Saints going to beat Tom Brady 3 times? They did not, right? I don't think that you can fool him 3 times. So let's see if he's learned from
TD,
that.
You got GOAT status.
So
that is the thing.
All right, next one is for TD. Tyreek Hill went off the last time that he played in Week 12. So true or false? This go-round, Clyde Edwards-Helaire will be a bigger factor than Hill.
True, and more true. And the reason is, you talked about it, MJ. Tyreek Hill went off for 269 yards. If you are Todd Bowles, that cannot happen again. Anybody else get theirs. But that guy right there, he can't get it. So in the meantime, when that's happening, Clyde Helaire is going to be running that rock between the tackles, softening up that defense. You know, they're going to just find a way to run the rock. Because you know what? If they up there double teaming Tyreek Hill, they might even double team Travis Kelce. So that means a very light box. And what do you do with that? You run the rock.
Hey, I'm going to say false. I almost had to ask for clarification on this one because it's not about stats. It is bigger factor. And Tyreek Hill will be a huge factor in deciding this ball game because regardless if he gets the football or not, like you said, TD, 13 receptions, 269 yards, 3 touchdowns. You best believe everybody is going to know where Tyreek Hill is, even when he's not getting the ball. And you best believe they're going to use him as a distraction and a decoy on a lot of those reps. So I'm going to have to go false with that one. Tyreek Hill still will be a factor.
All right, I definitely agree.
He won't be a bigger factor, though.
I agree with TD on this one because remember on Go Figure when we told you on Monday that when Clyde Edwards-Helaire is on there, they scored 12 more points. That's a big difference.
Yes.
I think that he will be a factor. All right, D-Hall, the Chiefs are a high-powered offense. So let's see what they have had a lot of narrow victories this season. However, true or false, in this game, it will be by a touchdown or more.
I say true. I say true. For the better part of this season, we knew Kansas City was a loaded a team that had the opportunity to repeat. Tampa Bay was still trying to figure it out. Yes, they're in the Super Bowl. They're a really good team, but I just think Kansas City is a much better football team at this point.
I'm going false on this one, and the reason is, listen, there's no disrespect to any team. The Bucs offense is phenomenal. I mean, the Chiefs offense, you got 2 explosive offenses, and I think this is going to be a very tight game when it's all said and done. This would be one of those, you know, last possession type games that it comes down to who makes that play. So I'm saying false.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's coming down to the wire just because that's how I want it to end. This season has been crazy. That's what we deserve. All right, guys, thanks. And I do actually have one more question, but it's from our NFL Total Access Instagram account. Take a look here. Yesterday, we asked you which team will have more interceptions in the Super Bowl, and the results are in. The fans, all of you, said that the Chiefs will have more picks. Shout out to our incredible social team, Rockstar Cassie, by the way. Look at this graphic. Okay, girl. Killing it. Check out our Instagram page daily to check out our polls. We'll have another one for you later in the show. All right, let's bring back our coach, Brian Billick, for this one. And Coach, of course, we want to take you back down to memory lane. Look at that, because 20 years ago, you coached in the Super Bowl. This year, though, completely different experience than ever before. I've talked to a bunch of the players this week, and listen, they're not mad at it. There's no fanfare, limited distractions for them. How do the coaches here, though, Andy Reid and Bruce Arians, how do they approach a Super Bowl week like this one?
Well, normally, MJ, with just about the time of the week, you'd be asking me, well, how do the coaches deal with all the hoopla and all that, how strange a week it is for your players and keep their focus and keep some normalcy? We don't have to have that conversation. It's completely normal for them. Once you get to the game, it's just a game. Certainly a big game, but it's a game. And that's what coaches push their teams towards, trying to hold out the distraction. Well, right now, there are no distractions. Heck, Kansas City's not even coming in until the weekend. Tampa Bay, there's not the hoopla, the noise, the chatter. You keep hearing about players holding that chatter off. They don't have to do it. All the energies, all the focus can be on your normal preparation, getting ready for the game, and the coaches are absolutely loving that calm atmosphere that they have now.
I think this is why it makes it that much more hard to call, right? So for you, who's going to be the X factor for this game?
Well, we've already talked about how difficult. You got to take out Kelce. You got to take out Hill. Well, that leaves one-on-one with Hardman, and we've seen the impact he's had in a lot of different ways. You can see the type of big plays he had, why it happens. When you look at the film, here it's an empty. It's a 3-by-2. Hardman's at the bottom. They got 3 receivers at the top. All right, now the defense, I want you to watch the way they react to this. They've got 5 guys that are going to the 3-man side because you have to cut down Hill. You have to cut down Kelce. What does that do? One-on-one on the backside with Hardman. Right now, Patrick Mahomes goes, I'm not going to go uphill. I'm going to go whack my one-on-one matchup because I believe in him. Now, this is an interesting one. We talk about playing a lot of cover 2. Well, here's why. You got a defense, shell defense, 5 underneath. Hardman, what do you got to worry about? The jet sweeps, the quick screens like you see here. You have your corners and your safeties in a quick position to support the exterior on the outside of the offense and make plays like this. And then this is the one. This one's hard to explain, but not really. Here you're going to see the Baltimore Ravens. They're going to end up coming with a 5-man rush. So Patrick Mahomes knows, okay, there's only so many guys on the back end. I want you to know what happens at the bottom with Marcus Peters. His vision, he sees Tyreek Hill coming across the field. So what does he do? We know Marcus Peters take chances. He falls off. Elliott, the safety, he gets screwed because he thinks there's help over the top because you're guessing, and now Hardman ends up with an easy touchdown. So this is the dilemma for you. Yeah, you got to take a Hill. You got to take Kelce out of the game. But Hardman, you better make sure you account for him.
Coach, we know that Hardman, he's a fighter. We saw how he bounced back after that tough start to the AFC Championship game. I talked to him yesterday and asked him about it. He said it was a challenge to his mental toughness. But as we saw, he rose to the occasion and really did not let his team down. All right, Coach, thank you. All right, he is the man in the middle of a major quarterback controversy in Philly. But let's be clear, he's only in the middle of it because he put himself there, because he played himself there. I've got a lot of questions for Jalen Hurts. It's coming up next.
Nothing can break me down. Don't you know if it's in our hands and we gotta go take it.
Jalen Hurts, the rookie, against the best D in the league. There's Hurts, he's back. Hurts. Touchdown! Hurts. How about that? Jalen Hurts. Beautiful throw by Hurts.
He's truly a dual threat.
This looks like a different team. Boy, that hurts.
Wait a minute. This is fun again.
Wow, I love Jalen Hurts. That really hurts.
I mean, it's the new theme song. And as we like to say around here, the Eagle quite literally has landed. Welcome in, Eagles QB Jalen Hurts. Listen, Jalen, congrats on an incredible rookie season. How would you assess it?
I think it was great for me to get my feet wet, having that opportunity towards the end of the season. I obviously learned a lot sitting there, and I'm just excited for the future. I'm excited for the future. Obviously, didn't end the way we wanted it to end, but definitely a lot of learning experiences for me, as well as the football team. So I think we're just excited to take those steps moving forward.
And Jalen, listen, you went out there and you showed exactly what everybody expected from you. Plus, a low moment for the culture, some Omega Psi Phi shout out as well there. We, too, are excited for the future. Listen, are you going to be the starting QB next season or what?
Look, I'm doing what I need to do on my end, working my tail off, trying to build those relationships with my teammates. So, I'm doing what I got to do.
What were you thinking when Coach Peterson made that change at QB in Week 17?
I was just waiting on my opportunity. Honestly, my opportunity came. It's kind of a so what, now what mentality, and I just wanted to attack it. It's kind of like one of those things where you have to be ready to answer the phone when it rings. I'll be the first one to say, I'm my biggest critic. So everything that happened this year in those 4 games for me and the football team, the joys and the pains, the ups and the downs, we'll learn from them. I've definitely learned from him and will continue to learn from him. And I'm just excited for this upcoming season.
Okay, so new coach, Nick Sirianni. What's he like? And make your case to him. Why should you be the starter?
Well, I got the opportunity to speak with him, and I think he's a great guy. Just meeting him, hopefully looking forward to sit down and talk to him some more I was able to do that a little bit. But I'm just excited. I actually had kind of talked a little bit before I got drafted when he was at the Colts, and I know he had a lot of love for me and respect for me there. So we got the opportunity to work with each other now, so I'm excited.
You talk about really learning last season, the rookie season, and growing there. What is your relationship like with Carson, and what are the conversations like with you guys in the quarterback room?
I think we just go out there and we just work every day. Like I said, I learned a lot from him. Just watching his tape over the last few years, he has a lot of experience in the game, and I was taking note of everything, jotting it down and seeing what I could apply, what I wouldn't. So I'm a sponge. In everything that I do, I just try and soak in info, knowledge from those around me and apply it to my game so I can be better.
That's it. That's all you can do. Sponge, and then when you go out there, boom, get to work. Jalen, you've teamed up with Oikos and Oikos Pro this season for your Pro Face campaign that helps fitness-focused businesses. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and what's going on with Oikos?
Yeah, Oikos has a lot of good things going on. They're doing a lot of things within the community. Trainers obviously being affected by the virus, so they've donated $1,000 to trainers within their communities, respected communities, to keep them on their feet, as well as, I like to put the work in. So it's a good post-workout snack. Got a lot of good protein in it, and I got the Pro Face too, so.
Okay, wait, what is your Pro Face like? Is it more like blue steel? Is it really hardcore? I mean, I'm just curious here.
It's like the it's like a lot of good,
I thought it was going to be the full tongue out like you showed us on the sidelines not too long ago.
Like that one, huh?
It was good. Listen, the whole world liked that one, even though some people were confused as to what it was, but we knew. Thanks, Jalen. I really appreciate you. Best of luck next season. I'm going to go get me some yogurt, too. All right, here's our Total Access guest lineup for Super Bowl week. Tomorrow, it's George Kittle and Chase Young. They'll be in house with us. Thursday, it's Stephon Diggs and Russell Wilson's turn to spill the tea. And then Friday, Russell's teammate Jamal Adams joins the show. And listen, even though most of us are watching from home, you can control your Super Bowl fan experience live from up to 7 camera angles. All of this with Verizon 5G Super Stadium in the NFL app. This is available to iPhone 12 users. It's a common theory amongst NFL defensive coordinators that beating a dominant player is a two-part process. First, you identify their tendencies, and then you exploit them. After the break.
Zoom calls you think you had this year, too?
The more than I'll probably ever have in my lifetime after this.
What do we have here?
This is not right, OC. You're supposed to be putting pads on. You're not supposed to be on the other end.
We were all locked inside for a long time with the quarantine and everything like that. The Bucs signed Tom Brady. We got Gronk. It's just been a crazy year.
I mean, the game has changed a little bit from when we played back there in 2007. The quarterback we're playing still the same.
I think Brady's older, he's more established, so successful. I think Pat is chasing that. I think he's on the verge of being the next Brady.
I'm still part of the Geritol crew, though, and we are a little bit older.
At Super Bowl 53, you told us you like to drink in the parking lot with friends, players, and their families after the game. How would you celebrate?
We will find an adult beverage somewhere and have a great time.
Yeah, Coach. All right, the quarterbacks for Super Bowl 55 are the focus of tonight's Next Gen Stats powered by AWS. Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady have polar opposite QB tendencies when it comes to throwing on the run and from inside the tackle box. Mahomes has attempted 23.3% of passes on the run this season. That's second in the league, while Brady has attempted just 3.1 on the run, which is last in the NFL. All right, let's head to the film room now for a Baldy breakdown on this matchup.
In this Baldy Super Bowl breakdown, I want to talk about the 5 most important Buccaneers, not named Tom Brady, the offensive line, and how they work together to protect the general, Tom Brady. Let's take a look here. It starts really with the center, Ryan Jensen, who's the leader of this group right here. He's always looking to help, all right, looking to clean up. And then watch the left tackle, Donovan Smith. Wad up the Smith brothers, Donovan and Preston Smith, so that Tom Brady can cut this ball loose to Chris Godwin for 51 yards. Now, play action pass right here. You look at Ryan Jensen putting Kenny Clark down on the ground, and watch how they wad everything up over here. Gronk is over there, Tristan Wirfs, so that you can throw that floater to Chris Godwin over the top. And then watch, Gronk misses a rare block here on Preston Smith. But here comes Big Lenny. Leonard Fournette coming over to put a hit on Preston Smith so that Brady can crank up this pass to Scotty Miller right before the half for a big touchdown. And then when you look at Ali Marpet here, just wad things up. You wad things up and you give Brady this kind of vision, he's going to stick it to Tyler Johnson like he does on that third down. And then in the screen game, you got to identify the man, Christian Kirksey. Ryan Jensen gets out on Kirksey. Now look at the rookie, Tristan Wirfs. He's looking for a different color jersey to hit, and Gronk gets a big play in the fourth quarter to put that game on ice. This group is pretty special, this offense line of the Bucs. The rookie, Tristan Wirfs, the best rookie.